Alright, hey Jeff, my name is Dan Luce. I'm here at the JMA Group and I'm a manager here. How
Hi,
you
Dan.
doing?
Good. Jeff Chiddix. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How was the plane ride in?
It was good. It was good. A little bit of turbulence flying over the middle of the country, but not too bad. I can't complain.
That's good, that's good. And I know you're from Iowa and you're down in Florida. The weather here?
Much nicer. I had a chance to kind of walk along the beach last night. That was kind of nice. It was cold and snowy at home.
Nice, nice. And you got to try any of the restaurants around town? Or?
I haven't got to do too much. I got in last night. I had enough time to walk from my hotel down to the beach, and then I ate dinner at the restaurant at the hotel, and I ate breakfast there this morning, and now I'm here. So, hopefully I'll get a chance to in the future.
Was the traffic okay? And
yeah, it wasn't too bad. You guys had the car service for me, so it was pretty easy.
Okay. All right. Well, before we started, would you like a glass of water or anything?
No, I'm doing great. Thank you, though.
Okay. All right. Well, Jeff, you've come here today to apply for the FI specialist position. And I've looked at your resume, your cover letter, you have a lot of great experience and a lot of good things, so
thank you.
That was really good. So first off, why do you desire this position?
Because in the past, I've spent a lot of time working with other JM&A specialists. When I was a finance manager in a dealership, one of my favorite things to do was train employees and help them grow and succeed. And when I first got into that position, I was trained by JM&A specialists, and I really liked the processes, procedures, and programs, and I think it would be a really good fit for my personality in terms of how I like to train people and how you guys like to see it done.
Okay. All right. Well, as an F&I specialist, you need to be able to work with dealership personnel in any capacity needed to assist with dealer profits. Can you tell me in your past experiences how you've done this before?
To help with dealer profits, well, as a salesperson, obviously my goal was to make the most gross possible on every car deal. And as a custom finance manager and a regular finance manager, I worked with the other people in the finance department as well as the sales managers to increase back-end profit on every car deal. Increase the profit on warranty sales, on insurance sales, that kind of stuff, to set up the customer to find value in those products. As we all know, when you set the customer up in the beginning, it makes the sale a lot easier at the end. And of course, as a sales manager, I had a direct influence on profit because I controlled all the negotiations on every car deal, as well as setting up those back-end products for the F&I managers. That's most of what I've done over the last few years is help dealers increase profit. So, and I've done it quite successfully. I think on my resume it says something about a 40% profit increase.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think I've been very successful.
That was very impressive. That was very impressive. I also see, well, we just talked about you've had many different sales positions, stuff like that. Can you tell me what were circumstances you leaving your last job?
You know, I left my last job. I'd been there a long time, and I was very happy. I had a great job. And I went to my owner one day and I said, I'm pretty sure I want to go back to college. And he kind of laughed at me and said, I've never had anybody in your position tell me they want to quit and go back to college before. So we talked about it over the next couple months, and we decided it was probably the best thing for me in the long run was to go back to school. So he kind of helped me out. Over about a 2-month period, we worked out an exit strategy. And then over about a 2-month period after that, I trained my replacement. And I quit one day, and now here I am back in college.
So you talk about college.
Yep.
How do you think college right now is helping you? Is it getting you better?
It's improved my skill set a lot. I always thought I was a fairly strong salesperson. I feel I have very good interpersonal skills. I feel I'm very good at interacting with people. Going back to school has made it easier to communicate with a larger group of people. It's kind of helped me understand a few different viewpoints. It's also helped me articulate things a little bit better and maybe relate to customers a little bit better. It's one of those things I feel if I would have done 5 or 6 years ago, I would have been way better than I was. And I think I was pretty good. I think my resume bears that out.
Yeah. All right, and also we know you're attending Coe College, which is really high on our list because that's a great school.
Excellent. Thank you.
Did you enjoy your other jobs, past jobs?
I did. I really, really enjoyed the people I worked with, both that I worked for and that worked for me. The people were probably my favorite thing. The people I worked with and my customers. I miss most the fact that I've still to this day have got old customers that call me. They just want to talk and they want to tell me about their lives and hear how I'm doing. Or for that matter, I've got old customers that call me and they want advice on cars. So I still probably, even though I haven't been in the business in almost a year, I still probably do 8 to 9 car deals a month.
Okay. All right. Also, an F&I specialist has to deal with stressful situations. So, could you tell me about sometimes in your past experiences you've dealt with something stressful? And
sure, I can tell you about one of the most stressful things I had to deal with is we had a gentleman who used to be my boss who ended up getting fired over this situation. He sold a car that we did not hold title to, which is
Oh.
illegal.
Yeah.
It was, of course. So he got fired, and I was left to clean up the mess. So I had a customer who was extremely unhappy because she had a car which she couldn't get the title to, and she knew why. We'd broken the law and done something illegal,
Yep.
and we still didn't hold title to the car. So, with the advice of our lawyer, and working with the customer, and working with the auction company we bought the car through, I jumped through a ton of hoops, got all the paperwork done correctly, got the title to the vehicle, and then in order to make the customer happy, we did things like I would take all the paperwork to her so she didn't have to come into the dealership and re-sign stuff a bunch of times. I would also do things like, in order to make sure she remained happy, we give her a free detail on her car once a year for the next couple years. It doesn't cost the dealership much money,
Yeah.
but this lady's happy as clams, and just because she got her title 2 weeks late, she's getting a $100 detail.
Mhm.
You know, it's one of those things. And so by working with the auction company, our lawyers, and the customer, we found out a solution that made us legal, which is most important,
Yep.
kept us from getting sued, and made a customer happy, who was not only happy, but she ended up coming back and bought another car, which is the ultimate goal.
Okay. Interpersonal skills are huge as being a manager. So, can you just tell me about some of your experiences, how you've had interpersonal skills?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest things in any position, whether it's a specialist doing training or sales or anything else, is building a relationship. The best example I can give you of that is one of my customers. His name's Jimmy Kasick, and I've probably sold Jimmy, I don't know, 7 or 8 trucks over the years. And when I sold Jimmy his first truck, he wasn't shopping for a truck.
Mhm.
He'd driven in, pulling his fishing boat, and he was literally just driving. One of those guys that drove through the lot once a week because he liked to look at cars. And I was outside, and I just started talking with him. We were talking about his fishing trip and how his day was. And next thing you know, Jimmy's telling me about his truck and what he really likes about it and what he really hates about it. And without even trying to talk about trucks, we were talking about fishing. Next thing I know, I'm going, hey, Jimmy, check this out. This is going to make your next fishing trip easier. And I'm showing him the back door that opens backwards. And 45 minutes later, Jimmy's buying a new truck. He stopped by once a week after that to show me his fish on his fishing trip. He'd bring his daughter by when she'd come to town to introduce me to his daughter. I mean, it was crazy. For the next 5 years, this guy was one of my best friends. I've driven all of his hot rods. It was fun. And over all the time and all the trucks I've sold him, we probably haven't talked about cars for more than an hour total. And all the rest of the time was family and fishing and fun.
Wow.
So, it's awesome.
Yep, that's great because you're going to need interpersonal skills in this managing job. So, all right, now we've heard a lot about you and really good stuff. Do you have any questions about me or the company or anything?
I do. My first question would be your training program. I've been through the J&A processes and procedures, and I'm very familiar with them. My question is, what do you offer for ongoing training after that first couple-week period when I'm 6 months in, a year in? Am I just on my own, or are there other programs after that to kind of make sure I'm still succeeding?
After about 6 months training, you will be training with other managers as well. So you'll be with them. They'll help you with other stuff, but it's more on your own.
Okay.
But if you have any question or anything, they're still going to be there for you. So, I mean, your training isn't done after 6 months. It's probably a year long, and then you're on your own. But after the 6 months, you're pretty much on your own, but you're going to have people behind you still helping you out.
Okay, excellent. So there's somebody I can rely on if I have questions or problems.
Always.
That sounds great. And then my other question is, I'm looking for a career. I don't want somewhere I can end up for a year or 2 years. I want somewhere I can spend a lifetime. And I'm assuming if this is a position you guys offer me and I choose to accept, it's going to be something I'm very successful at. And if it is, it's something I'd like to be promoted at. What's you guys' policies on promotions for moving up in the chain of command?
All right. Well, if you come in and you get elected to be the F&I specialist, you have a great chance of moving up. So after a couple of years, we could promote you to be vice president or something like that. So definitely, you'll be able to do that. Okay.
Okay.
So I've heard a lot about you today, and we really liked your resume and everything like that, and your cover letter. So there's other people that are going to be coming in. So hopefully you can make it. We'll get back to you in about a week or so. And really nice to meet you in the interview.
Dan, I appreciate your time today. Thank you
if
very
you're
much.
ever around Florida, just give us a call.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.